The Toyota Tundra has an option that the other manufacturers have not offered, and it's one of the best things I've ever seen on a half-ton truck. And we're going to unpack that in this video. I borrowed this truck from Karl Malone Toyota here in Draper, Utah. This 1794 edition is available for sale. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys can see options and features on this build. At the very top is the description with the colors. And here is a short listing of some of the standard features on this truck. Be sure to pause it. Now, starting off the options is that TRD 3-inch suspension lift kit for $3,995. And then this one also has a TRD off-road package. It has a lot of features that come in there. Connected surfaces are part of this package with the paint protection film and non-skid spray on bed liner. Destination comes in at $1,945 with a total MSRP of $76,803. Here are the Philly comment numbers off to the side. Let me get this straight. I can get a 3-inch lift added to my truck from the factory, which would basically cover me for 3 years, 36,000 miles of warranty. That is a no-brainer. Now, I know some people are going to complain about the price, but you got to understand something. This lift doesn't just give you the extra height. They give you all the supporting modifications with it as well. And that's why I think this is so perfect. Now, you guys can see this is a 1794 edition truck. You can get that on the Cowboy truck. You can get it on the Platinum if you like. That is such a cool feature to have. You can get it on anything outside of a TRD off-road or a TRD Pro, I believe. And if you already own a Toyota Tundra, you can get this added after the fact, which gives you, I believe, 12 months, 12,000 miles of warranty with that. With that being said, 1794 does give you that chrome on the front end. You also have like this gray metallic on the grille. It says TRD right there. There is a front camera, active grille shutters, parking sensors, and you have the premium lights that come standard on the 1794. So you have that quad beam LED. Fog lights are right in the center of the grille. And check out this ground clearance. I think it's like 2.6 inches of ground clearance with this truck. If I were to get a Toyota Tundra tomorrow, I would get it with this package because it makes it look like an HD pickup for sure. Now let's go ahead and take a quick peek at this suspension. Now the first thing you're going to notice is obviously that red coil. So they did paint that, and it is taller to give you that extra ride height too. Now the shock absorber that they're using is a TRD Tune one, which is Toyota Racing Development. That shock is using digressive pistons, which is going to help balance like high speed stability, and if you're going at low speeds, it's going to help with overall body control. That top control arm is sourced from Roush. And yes, Roush is basically that company that tunes Ford engines to get crazy horsepower, and they're using that for their upper control arm, and that is forged as well. Now, some of the other hardware that they're using with this setup is front extended drive shafts, rear spring spacers, which I'll try to show you in a second, and the front stabilizer bars, as well as new lower knuckles, bump stops, and outer tie rod. So again, when you see that price, yes, Toyota's got to make some money, right? And they are doing all the extra supporting mods. When you go get a lift kit offline for 500 bucks or less, you're not getting this extra setup here. You guys can see that upper control arm does kind of droop down a little bit, which should help too with overall geometry for the suspension too. Now, here are the tires on this truck. These are aftermarket, and they are Toyo Open Country AT3s. Now, with this lift, you can fit 35 by 12.5 tires. Now, these wheels, I don't know what the offset is, but they're pretty aggressive. You can see out back, there's just a little bit of poke with them. So even with a factory truck, you have the option to run a bigger tire. And these are the KMC wheels, has a bronze face on them, and they're not B-lock capable. This is just a decorative ring on the wheels basically, and of course you have the 4-piston brakes. You guys see the tire size right there, 20-inch wheel, and 3-peak rated tire. Load range E has 3,000 195 pounds of capacity. Also, max PSI is 65. And the wheel is cocked all the way too. You still have good clearance with this setup here. Now, as I said, it looks just like an HD truck, right? That looks so good. I think my choice would be a platinum to get that blackout look with this suspension lift. Yeah, a little bit of chrome on your mirrors there. You have that 1794 edition badge down below. And if you care to see the other side of the suspension, there's not much really to see on this side. Have a fabric material for that liner. You have the painted fender flares too. Smart key system only on the front doors. You can see a little bit of chrome on the side of the windows. I believe you can get a blackout appearance on this truck too, so that might be an availability as well. You're just going to keep driving up the price. Here's where you're going to fill up at. Tank size is a 32.2 gallon. You can see those TRD shocks right there. I don't think you're going to be able to see the extension for that coil out back for the lift. It's pretty buried. I just tried to look just now. You can kind of see the bump stop in there, and that's pretty much it. 331 rear axle, and then there's your spare tire. Looks like you can get a 35-inch size tire. You can probably get a 37 under here. They give you a lot of space out back for a big spare. Well, actually no, maybe not. You can see right there, you might have some issues with the hitch. Chrome exhaust tip, and they do use stainless steel exhaust on these trucks too. Out back, you do have the full LED taillight, and you have a button on the side there to drop down the tailgate. It says Tundra on the front of the tailgate right there, on the top of it I should say. They also give you another Tundra badge right there. 400 watts of power, 120 volt. Bed lights. You have bed lights up there with 2 cameras. And then this is that composite bed. If you want to put this back up, you have 4 tie downs too around the bed as well. They do provide a light for hooking up your trailer. Backup cameras right there. You have a 7 and 4 pin class for a hitch, parking sensors, a little bit of chrome, and they stamp 1794 edition in the tailgate. This is a clean back end. Looks really good. This is the 3.4 liter twin turbo V6, known as the V35A FTS, right there. Now, I like the idea of twin turbo V6s. I really do. I also like the idea of a V8. This could be an option, and the V8 could be standard. And the good news is, because we have this 10-speed transmission, I believe that is an Eisen, by the way, too. We could get a 373 rear end, and that V8 would probably get about what this twin turbo V6 is getting. Just saying, Toyota, you have the option now. A lot of those regulations are going out the window, which is a good thing. 389 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque, and as I mentioned, all that power goes to a 10-speed transmission. And because that 10-speed has a 492 first gear, that's why they're using a 331 axle ratio out back. Aluminum heads, and this engine is 10.5 to 1 for compression, so you don't necessarily have to burn premium, but it's a twin turbo, probably should. I'm not going to take too much time on the interior because we're going to drive this truck, but I'm going to show you around it really quickly. Auto up and down front windows. You do have automatic power folding mirrors. Great leather treatment on the door. Seat memories. Also, they do give you a thigh support with Tundra. I think the only other truck that offers this is the Ram Tungsten, and you got to spend almost $100,000 to get that. You do have the lumbar that goes up and down, in and out. So this is basically a 14-way seat. You see those premium floor mats? Also, you have the sport pedals. Even the Raptor R doesn't have sport pedals. Also, you have more of that nice tan leather here. Real wood, and you can feel how porous it is. Up top here, you have some leather. This one doesn't have heads-up display, however. And check out the seats. This is why you buy Toyota Tundra. This has a wide lower seat cushion. Great perforated leather, nice accents right there. Let's go ahead and check out the passenger side. On the dash, 1794 edition. On this side, this is going to be a 12-way seat. More leather, all that wood on that center console, 14-inch display, wireless chargers down there. Heated ventilated front seats, obviously. Heated steering wheel buttons on the other side there. I didn't notice, but you have perforated leather on that steering wheel too, which makes it good for your hands, especially if you have sweaty hands. That might be the best setup to have here. Now, here's something the other trucks don't have. They don't have curtains in the second row. Love that Toyota still does this. Even high-end SUVs don't have this. This is a decently sized cab too. 60/40 bench in the rear. A little bit of storage below the seat too. That rear glass does go down. Twin panel moonroof. Heated and ventilated second row seats. Only Ram offers this. And you have two USBs, Type A, Type C. And 120 volt power plug, air vents, cup holders. All this is wrapped in leather too. They do still provide this. And I like that this whole glass goes down because it's just better visibility out the back because you don't have the barriers in glass basically. Let's go ahead and take this truck for a drive. When you do a turn, you can tell that there's no rubbing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do full lock backing up. The tire is rubbing on something, but that's that full lock though. You don't have to do full lock. If you just take it back just a little bit, like that much, you don't hear that rubbing. So yeah, you're gonna have a little bit of rubbing. You guys can see the 360 camera right there. Love the 4K camera they use for this guy. Also, your home link is on there too. I'm gonna go ahead and slide that rear glass down for you guys. It's right here, right? Yep, right there. Look at that. Yes. That is something that Toyota has been winning with, and I'm surprised that no one else has tried to incorporate that on their trucks. That bump wasn't too bad, by the way. You know, if you have to sell the wife on getting a lift on your truck, the way you do that is saying you have better visibility outside the truck. You have better line of sight, and that's always good for the kids, right? You want better safety for the kids. That's what I would tell my wife at least. So I definitely do recommend this lift, guys. It does give you better visibility, all jokes aside, 100%. And as I said earlier, you're gonna get 2.6 inches of ground clearance. So if your wife is someone who likes to run over stuff, you know, like the curb, things like that, if the curb is a little too high, that extra ground clearance is gonna help protect the front end of the truck, which means less insurance claims on the front bumper. But yes, at low speeds, you can't even tell this truck is even lifted. I don't really notice a difference in how the suspension feels either. I mean, Toyota is pretty big into keeping things as close to stock as possible. I'm going to get on the highway here for a second. I want you guys to see if you can hear road noise, things like that too. And yeah, I think that this is the perfect option. Now, obviously, you can go with different wheels and tires. I mean, this is a little bit more aggressive, but I would probably keep the stock wheels and just go probably taller tire, a little bit wider. Yeah, when you turn, oh yeah. Even under acceleration, the truck feels planted. I think these shocks are a little bit stiffer, or really the springs up front. I feel like you have better turn-in feel. The steering feels about the same. I mean, if I were to put it in sport mode, does it actually make the steering? Nope, it does nothing for the steering at all. Let's try to get up to about 70 miles an hour. A little bit of body roll. You probably can even see it. Yeah, there's definitely some body roll. But it's not bad though. It's not like uncontrollable. A little bit of noise from the tires, but I think you can hear the wind noise more. If I were to close this twin panel moonroof, that would probably quiet it up a little bit in here too. Now, I want to show this. This is something new for 2025. You now have massage function on the seats here. So my favorite is obviously the centripetal. I don't know how to say that word, but yeah, that one, it gives you the top and bottom cushions. You have your heated seats on. You have a little bit more meat on the tires, so you can get a better ride. Man, this is a good truck. let's go and check out the payload on the door. Front gross axle weight rating is going to be 4,080 pounds. The rear is going to be 3,860 pounds. You guys can see the wheels are 20 by 8.5 wide. All in GVWR is 7,275 pounds. And then here is the payload. So it's 1,300 minus 47 pounds, okay? 35 PSI all the way around is what they recommend with the factory setup. Hope you guys liked the video. I did actually hear a little bit of a rub on this side coming around this corner here. So yep, that's exactly what I was hearing. So it rubbed just a little bit. But the good news is once these tires wear down, you get about probably 1,500, 2,000 miles on them, it actually stops rubbing. So yeah, be sure to check out Karl Malone's inventory. Let them know you saw the video. See you guys soon.